Santa Fe High Desert Division. Today we're going to discuss lighting, and the lighting that we're going to be doing on our layout. So there is tons of videos here on YouTube and on the forums. There's tons of information in regarding lighting, the different types, and getting right down into the details. We're not going to do that here. That's already been done. What we're just going to discuss is what we're going to be doing here on the layout for our lighting situation. So, with that said, big kudos or shout out to Mike Deverall. I'll put a link in the information. He did a great video on layout lighting, all the different options. He laid them out, and I won't cover all that because he's already done it, and it's a great video. But definitely take a look at it. So what I'm going to do is discuss the options I looked over for the layout lighting here. So one of the things I did look out was the layout lighting. For layout lighting is the LED strips. They're 12 volt. They're great. They come in a bunch of different, two different key things. Was the color temperature. You get a lot of different options with that. But I quickly came to realize that is just not feasible for the layout here. We're looking at doing a double deck, and it's approximately 65 by 33 is what our basement is. That doesn't include the utilities, and also got a separate room set aside for my daughter as a playroom. So anyway, with that, so that was I ruled out LED strips right away. So that kind of left me a couple options. One thing is I'm not doing a fascia, or not a fascia. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a valance. I just don't like it. Again, it's every modeler has his own thing that he likes. Some like the valance, some don't. I feel like it's basically letterboxing your layout, and with the space that I have, I want it to look like it's open and vast, not just centered into this one little area to take a look at. So with that, I will not be doing any kind of valance. So what Mike Deverall had used was their cheapo light sockets with an LED bulb. They're great. It's a great way to mount those to the back side of your valance, and they're cheap, and you can put a whole bunch of them on a 115 amp breaker, and voila, you got your lighting. However, so since I'm not doing that, and I'm also doing a drop ceiling, so that gives me a couple different options. One was the can light. We just got done building this house here, and I installed over 100 can or recessed lights in the house, 6-inch recessed lights. So immediately I had some leftovers, so I quickly installed those. And with those 6-inch recessed, usually have a BR30 bulb, like this one here. This is a Sylvania 65 watt equivalent, so this and it only uses 11 watts. So, and it puts out 800 lumens. So there was two key things that I was looking at: how much light or how much lumens is it putting out, and the temperature of the lighting. So I'm going with a 4,000 Kelvin temperature. That's the closest. I really like that look. It's close to sunlight, so I'm going to be using 4,000 Kelvin on everything on the layout. So, this just happens to be one brand. That bulb is made in 4,000 Kelvin or close to it. I think it was like 3,700 instead of 4,000. Anyway, so I started running the figures. So one recess, by the time you get the recessed light, the trim, and the bulb, you're talking about $22 per light. That adds up pretty fast because, hey, let's all admit it. I mean, cost is also a factor for everybody. So the next option, again, like I mentioned, we're doing the drop ceiling, is fluorescent lights. So as you can see back here, this brand name is Metalux. It's a 2 foot by 4 foot recessed or fluorescent light that is for a drop ceiling. That holds 4 bulbs, and so I decided, okay, why don't we get one of those? Let's try that out. So I hooked that up, and as you can see in the background, there's 2 of them, one almost right here above me and one behind me that are on right now. I also got Utilitech. It's hard to mention if I murdered the name. Sorry. LED bulbs. Now Lowe's right now has got a great sale going on. So if you happen to see this between now and I think June is when the sale is done, you got a great opportunity. So these fluorescent lights back here normally run about $45. They've got them on sale right now for $30. Don't ask me why, they just do. This box of LED bulbs, there's 16 of them in there. They're T8 replacement bulbs. They are not direct wire. You've got to have the ballast in them, in the light. For the box of 16 is $40. So that's, instead of 80, they're normally, no, I'm sorry, 90. I think they're normally 90. So that's $2.50 a bulb plus $30 for that. So you're looking $40 for the bulbs and the light, for that setup. So I did the math on this. I'm gonna grab my notes here. Okay, so the amount of output with the 4 LED bulbs on the fluorescent light, we're looking at an output of 6,400 lumens. Yeah, 6,400 lumens just from that one light. And to get the same equivalent, now, what I mentioned earlier was 65 watt bulb. You can also get these BR30s and 85 watt as well. So we went with the 85 watt. Price is pretty much close to the same. I figured that you're going to need 5.5 recessed lights to equal the amount of light that puts out. So we're talking about $40 for that and the bulbs versus, I want to make sure I get this right here, about 120 that you would need for the recessed lights with the BR30 bulbs to get the same amount of light that this fluorescent light puts out. So needless to say, that's what we're going with. It's a 2 foot by 4 foot fluorescent light with 4 LED bulbs in it. And with that, so yeah, I had mentioned, yeah, it's a 6,400 lumens, and it at that it only consumes 56 watt, or basically just under half an amp per light. So on a 15 amp breaker, I can safely put, let's see, I did that math too. So 24. So I can put 24 of these fluorescent lights on one 15 amp breaker, plus still have a just about 17% margin of safety on that breaker. So that should probably cover the entire layout on one 15 amp breaker if I use these fluorescent lights. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pause here and I'm going to show 2 different scenes. One is going to be, I've got 3 of the recessed lights set up here with 65 watt equivalent BR30s. You'll see what the light output is. And then I will shut those off and have just the 2 fluorescent lights covering the same span. It's quite remarkable, the difference. So anyway, we'll close out with that. And but again, this is what we're planning on doing. There's millions of different ways of lighting up your layout. Again, this layout is a larger scale, double deck. I still have to figure out but what's behind me here. Get the upper deck and the lower deck, and I still got to figure out what I'm going to do for lighting to help light up the lower deck. But we'll get to that, and I'm sure I'll do another video on that as well. So until then, happy railroading, and we'll catch you soon. Okay, so with this scene, I've got 3 recessed lights with 65 watt equivalent BR30 bulbs. They're at the 3700 Kelvin temperature. So in this area, I figured I would need at least, probably at least 6, if not 8 recessed lights to really properly light it up. I mean, it's lit, but it's dark. And now I will switch over. Okay, so here we have 2 of these 2 foot by 4 foot drop ceiling fluorescent lights going with 4 LED bulbs, fluorescent bulbs. They're 32 watt replacements. They only use 14 watts of power, like I mentioned. So you can tell here there is a substantial difference in lighting with just these 2, and like I mentioned, it probably needed at least 8 recessed lights, if not more, to even try to get it to close to as bright as it is here now. Hey everyone, I hope this helps you out and maybe giving you a little bit more information on some of the options that are available for your layout lighting. This is not by any means the only way to do it. This is just what we're going to do here on the High Desert Division. So hey, if If you have questions or comments, please feel free to write those down below, and like the video if you liked it, and if you want to see future how-to videos and layout updates, please subscribe, because we're going to be trying to do these on video, and also information on our Facebook page. There'll be a link for that down in the more information below the video, such as like the layout plan. We got a copy of it up here, but you're not going to be able to see it because it's not in very good detail. But that is on there as well on the Facebook page, along with photos of updates. So, hey, enjoy, and thanks for watching.